ṣèbóyẹ ká lè dá dúró kájáwọ́nú àpọ̀n tí kò yọ ká tètè gbómi làkàná. Iléyá Iléyá ọwọ́ Odùduwà Iléyá 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 ọwọ́ Odùduwà Iléyá 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 ọwọ́ Odùduwà Iléyá. Bí a kò bá lè gbé lápapọ̀ ṣèbóyẹ ká lè dá dúró kájáwọ́nú àpọ̀n tí kò yọ ká tètè gbómi làkàná. Iléyá Iléyá ọwọ́ Odùduwà Iléyá 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 ọwọ́ Odùduwà Iléyá 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 ọwọ́ Odùduwà Iléyá. Bí a kò bá lè gbé lápapọ̀ ṣèbóyẹ ká lè dá dúró kájáwọ́nú àpọ̀n tí kò yọ ká tètè gbómi làkàná. Iléyá Iléyá ọwọ́ Odùduwà Iléyá 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 ọwọ́ Odùduwà Iléyá 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 ọwọ́ Odùduwà Iléyá. Bí a kò bá lè gbé lápapọ̀ ṣèbóyẹ ká lè dá dúró kájáwọ́nú àpọ̀n tí kò yọ ká tètè gbómi làkàná. Iléyá Iléyá ọwọ́ Odùduwà Iléyá 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 ọwọ́ Odùduwà Iléyá 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 ọwọ́ Odùduwà Iléyá. Bí a kò bá lè gbé lápapọ̀ ṣèbóyẹ ká lè dá dúró kájáwọ́nú àpọ̀n tí kò yọ ká tètè gbómi làkàná. Iléyá Iléyá ọwọ́ Odùduwà Iléyá 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 ọwọ́ Odùduwà Iléyá 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 ọwọ́ Odùduwà Iléyá. Bí a kò bá lè gbé lápapọ̀ ṣèbóyẹ ká lè dá dúró kájáwọ́nú àpọ̀n tí kò yọ ká tètè gbómi làkàná. Iléyá Iléyá ọwọ́ Odùduwà Iléyá.
To revive our culture, especially our language. Our language was a language of not just Yoruba people, but of a lot of other peoples who spoke it as their second language before the white man came. In the 16th century, visitors to the coast of West Africa testified to the fact that almost all the peoples along the coast of West Africa spoke Yoruba as their second language, especially as a language of trade. It's a very strong language. And one reverend father from France who visited the coast of Yoruba land, the coast of Benin, and so on and so forth, in the early 17th century, testified that the Yoruba language is spoken in these parts, that is in West Africa, in the coastal part of West Africa. The way the Yoruba language is used in these parts, the way we use Latin in Europe. Latin in that time was the language of educated people in Europe. Every nationality had their own language. The English had their English, the Germans had their German, the French had their French, and so on. But all the educated people and all the traders and so on and so forth tended to use Latin as the language of communication and business and trade. The Father Colombine who came from Nantes in France, testified, wrote in his diary that the Yoruba language is used in the way, in all these parts, the way we use Latin in Europe. And now we are hearing that the Yoruba language is dying. Our own scholars of language, linguists, have done researches and have written reports showing that the Yoruba language is dying, and that before the end of this century, many African languages will become extinct before the end of this century, and the Yoruba language is one of them. So that's a task. That's something that Ilana Omodua is taking very, very seriously. Also, our land is in serious danger of insecurity. People are invading our land and killing our people and destroying our assets, farming assets, villages, farms, and so on, raping women, kidnapping people. Okay, you might say, oh, it is not happening only to the Yoruba nation. That's true, but it is happening to the Yoruba nation. That's the important thing. It is happening here. And so it is the duty of Yoruba patriots to gather together and find a way to defend their land. We are not a nation that pushes out foreigners from our land. Our tradition is to accept the foreigner, welcome him, help him if he needs help. That's our history, that's our tradition. But that does not mean that we do not recognize that some people are dangerous. And if they are dangerous, our duty is to find a way of defending ourselves against them. That's all.
Now, one of your big election pledges was to tackle corruption, and this drive has seen you jail judges and police chiefs, even your own former national security advisor. What was the problem, as you saw it, with corruption in Nigeria?
Well, I think I will tell you what we'll clearly understand. The foreign companies, especially oil prospection and development companies, have been in Nigeria for about 2 generations, 40 years and above and so on. So they know the environment. They know the state that long. They continue to invest because they know the potentialities Nigeria has in oil and gas, and the capacity of their people to learn and work hard. That's why they are still prospecting in Nigeria and so on. But the thing the Nigerian government will do is to secure the environment. Unless the environment is secured, then unfortunately the investments wouldn't be coming in.
We have got the opportunity to serve again for additional 4 years. And Nigerians will know the difference.
Off the lights. And they were moving silently in large numbers and surrounded the premises. They told us to keep walking on a strange road. On getting to a point, we saw a large crowd of gunmen on their motorcycles, and they asked us to kneel down. They said anyone with phones or money should bring it. Otherwise, if they search and find anything, they will kill the person. They later brought in about 6 to 7 people that are not students. They called their bosses and kept asking, what's next? How are they going to transport us if they will use motorcycle to transport us? The gunmen were really young, between 23 to 29. The ones that joined them later might look above 30 years of age. So one of them kept asking, what are they now going to do with them? Should they kill them or let them go? So there were some arguments amongst them on what to do. So finally they said, their boss said they should let them go. Meanwhile, they said, we the students should continue walking. But because I'm a sickler, my leg was already paining me, and then I tried to run.
I cannot imagine the trauma this young boy must have gone through, Tundun.
Man, I don't even know where to start from.
he said he had to make a run for his life because his leg was hurting already, that he's got sickle cell. And just look at the trauma he's gone through. And the painful part, Audrey, was that before you came in, we spoke to Amaka Okoye.
Yes.
And Amaka said, despite the fact that this boy told, and I'm probably sure it's this man, this young man, this boy that told them that they said they were going to attack female schools. Nothing has been done, no security.
Yes.
And you start to ask questions. Why? Why?
It's because the schools have been closed, but it still shows a complete lack of a sense of responsibility.
Yeah.
The schools have been closed, the children are out, so they just don't feel the need to secure the area. It's really unfortunate. There should be security everywhere.
But there were more than 300 students that were kidnapped. I mean, okay.
I mean,
so,
Audrey, I don't even care what to believe any longer. I'm sorry I'm saying this on national TV. I don't care. We're hearing 10 students somewhere. We're hearing over 300
no, people are
somewhere.
even reporting over 600.
Over 600. I don't
So if I could finish, what he said about the argument for me is telling.
Yeah.
There was no plan.
Yes.
It was opportunism. They saw that this place is completely left bare, there's no security, so they just grabbed the boys and then started to argue after. This just goes to show how bad the situation is. Any kind of opportunistic attack is possible. And this is the problem with the fact that having heard an account like this, there's still no visible security. That only further encourages them. It's like advertising. Come and take whatever you like. It's terrible.
And it's free intelligence. You see, because, well, I'm sorry to say the word, I use the word I don't care about the numbers, because all we do in this country is when an incident happens, we don't tackle it, we first debate about the numbers, just like the farmers.
Yes, the farmers.
At first, they said, oh, it was 43. They said it was 70-something. Then the next, they said they didn't get permission.
110, United Nations, then they withdrew
Now, we said they didn't get permission. That was what ended that case. And we've moved on. Because I don't know, it looks like a country that has selective amnesia to me. We are so quick to move on. We've moved on from the farmers, and it's no longer about the farmers. This boy now is about this boys, and there's a contention about. I don't care. All I want those children to be out with their parents. That's all I care about. And it's so sad. Is it everything we must play politics with? Is it everything?
Apparently so.
And you know, there's outrage going on social media. There's apparently a video of President Buhari, obviously because it's his hometown, visiting, his farm as opposed to, going to visit the location of where that happened. I'll take a tweet from co-convener of Revolution Now, Omoyele Sowore, who posted a video of Buhari visiting a farm in Katsina with the caption, 600 students got kidnapped in Katsina. And Muhammadu Buhari ignored them. Instead, the president went to visit his cows. The moment we get it, that Buhari's regime can't be redeemed, we will continue to come to the inevitable conclusion that #Buhari must go. I mean, that video is trending on social media. A 15-year-old boy identified as Muhammad Adam has revealed how the Boko Haram terrorist group converts minors to Islamic fighters. The young boy revealed that he was kidnapped at the age of 10 in his hometown in Borno State. He claimed that he was among the Boko Haram fighters that escorted the kidnapped Chibok girls to a camp in Timbuktu and gave them close protection. He further disclosed that he escaped from one of the camps in Sambisa Forest owing to the hardship and hunger resulting from a cholera outbreak, which left over 500 militants and their families in critical condition. In a bid to confirm the Nigerian army that they got the right man, the young Adam demonstrated some combat skills he acquired during training by the insurgents in weapons handling, marksmanship, and planting of improvised explosive devices. He also revealed that Abubakar Shekau, leader of the sect, has lost his leg as a result of an airstrike by Nigerian army. Well, let's take a quick look at some of his skills.
Sani, Saris, Invita, Radam.
You're just saying that he is a complete marksman.
He's trained.
Yes. He was apprehended by Operation Lafia Dole, December 12th. I mean, he had been wanting to escape this whole sect since he was 10 years old. Imagine the trauma this young boy has faced.
Somebody see the...
I don't know why Nigerians, we have become so edgy now. Maybe because of the food we eat now. We eat so much of Maggi. We have become so impatient that we don't want to listen to each other. We don't want to, provide solutions that will be workable to our country. Mr. Speaker, I sit here, my colleague is saying the cattle and the herdman, values his cows more than the lives he is killing, which is not true. You can't sit down here and just make conclusions. Yes, the herdman values even the life of the cow more than his own life. That is how God has created him.
No cow, not even 10 billion cows, is up or has enough value like a human being. It's not up to one human life. So when you say God has created them in such a manner that they value their cows more than human beings, I find that very insulting and demeaning.
Instruction given by custom. From Daura to Kongolam, that's the border, international border. It's 18 kilometers. From Mr. President's house, leaving home, his bedroom, to the border is just 13 kilometers. That's a very good point there. We all know the borders are closed, but they still allow things to go in and out. I'm a living witness, and I stand to be corrected. Therefore, yesterday, I was there around 1 a.m. Nobody knows.
That's good. Oh.
This is a very young BH boy showing demonstration on how they move. This is a very young BH boy showing demonstration how they move before they go on advance. This is demonstration he's showing. He's trying to show his demonstration. This is kneeling position, sitting position. He has raised his weapon. He's trying to crop. Showing demonstration how they move to an advance. He has been in various places like Sambisa and other places like that. This is demonstration he's showing. As you can see, look at the demonstration. This standing position he showed. Kneeling position before they started advancing. He's showing it. Sitting position. This is crawling, how they crawl. Backward crawling. They have started crawling. This is the way they crawl. This is the way they crawl. Backwarding. A very small boy of 7 years.
The position of the Northern Elders Forum. You are the spokesperson of the Elders Forum in the North. You're asking the president to resign. Have things come to that point?
Certainly. The facts on the ground support what we say. The president swore on the Quran as president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to secure the lives of citizens. He has failed to do so over and over and over again. This is his fifth, sixth year in office. The situation under him is getting worse, and there is no indication that it is likely to improve. So what else is there? What else is left other than to ask him that if there is honor, what in democratic countries, in civilized countries, what leaders who fail to protect citizens, particularly at the scale and the level at which our people are dying, is to resign. Clearly, he has failed in the number one responsibility of a leader, which is to protect citizens. So yes, things have gone, they are worse than this, but we've taken our time to assess the situation. We didn't want to rush to judgment. We wanted to give him a chance. Like everybody says, the leadership is very difficult. He has a very challenging responsibility, but 4, 5, 6, 7 years. The same president was saying 2 years before he assumed responsibility, he was saying to Jonathan to step aside and give him all others responsibility to run the country. So he's had a lot of time to study the situation. He's a general. He's the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. He's a military man, so he doesn't have an excuse about not knowing how to fight wars. He put people in charge. They're still in charge. We're losing this war. More internal security challenges are becoming manifest. More people are dying. Every single day, people die in this country. Life, truly, as we said in our statement, life has lost a value. One individual was kidnapped. One American citizen was kidnapped somewhere in Niger or northern Nigeria. The U.S. sent military to Niger Republic, to Nigeria, with the consent of our Nigerian troops. Foreign Americans came into our country and rescued the person. What do you say to a Nigerian president under whom our people are dying? How do you explain what happened in Borno? A failure of security, a failure of leadership? What else do you say other than to say to Mr. President, clearly, you can't secure the lives of Nigerians. And if there is honor, if there is respect for public opinion, really there is no reason why he should continue.
We have got the opportunity to serve again for additional 4 years. And Nigerians will know the difference.
Tell this nation today that this is the problem. This constitution can never give us progress. This constitution can never give us peace. This constitution can never give us unity. And unfortunately, most of us in this National Assembly, we don't have the spine to face what we need to give this republic to have peace and progress. What do I mean? This constitution has 68 items. 68 on the exclusive list. This constitution has only 12 on the concurrent list. And those 12 are written so nebulously, so fraudulently, that you know that the intention is to even undermine those concurrent lists. The formal name of this republic is Federal Republic of Nigeria. Unfortunately, we don't run a federalist system in Nigeria. Otherwise, what is so unique about all those things that are in the exclusive list? In this chamber, we try to federalize the police system. In this chamber, we failed. Every crime is local. And the solution to every crime is local. The earlier that senators in Nigeria summon the courage to say, we should not continue to deceive ourselves.
Raided a school in northwestern Nigeria. The attack happened on Friday night at the government science secondary school in the Kankara area of Katsina State. A military-led offensive to rescue the children is reportedly still underway. Our news reporter and former West Africa correspondent Mark Lobel has the details on the attack.
11 p.m. on Friday night, gunmen on motorbikes stormed this all-boys state secondary school and, according to police sources, fired their assault rifles into the air, which would undeniably have been terrifying, took on the security guards at the school and later the police that arrived. Now, some boys escaped. They jumped over fences, ran into town. The police say they then brought armoured personnel vehicles in to drive these attackers out. At the last count, 200 of the 800 students were accounted for, so there could be up to 600 students abducted or missing, and it's very worrying. So someone, a mother who was that had a son and a younger brother at the school, said that when she turned up on Saturday, there was a scarcity of information, an absolutely terrifying condition for everybody involved. The military later said that they located the attackers in a forest on Saturday, and there's a joint operation underway with the military, the Air Force and the police. But so far, a security guard was injured in that initial gunfight, but no reports of any student casualties.
Those are astonishing numbers that you mentioned. What's been the reaction to this kidnapping, and who might be behind it?
Well, President Mohamed Buhari, who's coincidentally 200 kilometers away from this school, he's on holiday in his home state, has condemned it. He's called for an audit of who was at the school. He's issued a statement. I strongly condemn the cowardly bandits' attack on innocent children at the science school. Our prayers are with the families of the students, the school authorities and the injured. Who's responsible? No one's claimed responsibility. There are two theories. The more likely one is that in this state, violent bandits tend to kidnap people for ransoms. That happened earlier in the week. And also a businessman, Nigerian businessman I just spoke to, said that usually it's such a poor area of the country, you might have individual negotiations with some of the parents, and they might be asking for as much as $10,000 to as little as $100 per kid. The other theory would be militant Islamists, but they don't normally operate in that part of the country.
You know the country well. Nigeria, I understand, has a history of security lapses in the course of school kidnappings some of the rest of us have heard of.
Yeah, security is a major concern in the country, and President Mohamed Buhari, who's also the commander-in-chief, is under increasing pressure to sort it out. 2 weeks ago in the northeast of the country, 43 farmers were suddenly and brutally killed. Now, in that area, over the last 10 years, 36,000 people have been killed, 2 million have been displaced, and most famously, as you indicate, 6.5 years ago, in the town of Chibok, 276 girls were taken from their dormitories, and there was this worldwide campaign to release them, including the likes of Michelle Obama speaking out, Malala Yousafzai, to get them back. About 100 are still missing 6.5 years on, and the reason that they were taken by Boko Haram, this militant Islamist group, is that they want to see an end to Western education. They want to see Islamic education in its place, an Islamic state. But at the moment, this latest incident in the west of the country is different from the northeast where they normally operate.
Mark Nobel.
I've got the opportunity to serve again for additional 4 years, and Nigerians will know the difference.
Excuse me, sir. Hello, sir. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. I'm not a lazy youth.
Are we likely to use a different approach in the fight against insecurity, especially kidnapping, which is a big issue now, sir?
No, I have just seen the IG. I think he is still losing weight, so I think he is working very hard.
For you, Dr. Obadiah, do you think the government is unwilling or unable to protect the people of Southern Kaduna?
In fact, it is not only unable, it is unwilling, and we have good reason to feel that they are part and parcel of the killers. Let me make some revelations to you.
That's a very big allegation, Dr. Obadiah. The government is part and parcel of the killers.
Yes.
That's big.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. How would the government just say, oh, it is revenge killing and so on? Then you leave it there. Oh, because it is revenge killing and so on and so forth. The body language of this administration, the body language of the state government shows clearly that they have a hand in the killings. No doubt about it. Because, you see, General Abacha, and people don't give him his due. Do you think you would have tolerated such nonsense? And let me make some revelations, because some of us also have our own intelligence networks.
Okay.
Have met with some of the bandits. We have met with some of their high commanders. One or two who have repented. They have sat down with us, not once, not twice. They told us that one of the northern governors is the commander of Boko Haram in Nigeria. Boko Haram and the bandits are one and the same thing. They have a sophisticated network. During this lockdown, their planes were moving up and down as though there was no lockdown. Moving ammunitions, moving logistics, moving money, and distributing them in different parts of the country. They're already in the south, in the rainforest of the south. They're everywhere. They told us that when they finish these rural killings, they will move to phase 2. The phase 2 is they will go into the urban cities, going from house to house, killing prominent people. I can tell you, this is the game plan. By 2022, they want to start a civil war in Nigeria.
Any Nigerian who is still hanging around waiting for 2023 to change Nigeria is a fool. Line 20 Daily Faro team me up and ask them to become president of Nigeria. 20 of me, 20. Multiply their brain power by 10, factor of 10, and then force them to operate the 1999 Constitution with the governance system that is enshrined in it. We shall fail spectacularly. The problem of Nigeria can never be resolved by personnel changes. The system is designed with impunity undergirding it, and it can never deliver anything positive to the Nigerian peoples. Be those Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, Fulani, whatever they care to be. Make an Igbo man president of Nigeria in 2023 and force him to operate the 1999 Constitution. Complete waste of time. Igbo will continue to suffer the brunt of the wickedness of the Nigerian state. Every Nigerian is rendered stateless by the 1999 Constitution. It is an iniquitous, wicked, and evil document. It has nothing good for the Nigerian people. And the longer we continue to fool ourselves believing, and let me enter one quick caveat. Our rulers are actually very intelligent when they care to be, especially when it comes to their own preservation. And I know as a fact that they're already making noises about restructuring in Abuja. The Mace Snatcher and the Lawan and that one that calls himself Baja, all of them are sat there running helter-skelter, cobbling together some lies that they intend to sell to us as constitutional, what do they call it, amendments. Let's be clear. You cannot continue to build on top of lies. You can't sustain that lie. And as long as justice is missing in a place, you continue to have strife. We need to tell ourselves the truth, and that truth is that the closest we can come to normalcy in Nigeria is to have a return to the original agreements that founded this country. Those agreements are very clear in their fundamentals. One of them, federal system. Nigeria is today not a federal system. Let's stop lying to ourselves. The word federal was brought to life by the American election. Each state has its own electoral body because it is essentially a country within a larger country. That was what our fathers agreed. Nobody agreed a situation where a clueless man will sit down inside a rock and begin to issue edicts and diktats to every other person. Nobody signed on for that in 1960. All the constitutional conferences, beginning from 1948 all the way to the 1951, all the way to 1960, each and every one of them was very clear and unambiguous. Nigeria was meant to be a federal system based on parliamentary democracy. It wasn't by accident that our fathers settled on parliamentary democracy. They wanted to make democracy as close to the people as it could be. So it simply meant that if you're a parliamentarian, you knew your people knew you. It was the aggregation of the parliamentarians that determined who became the prime minister, And they were also the ones at the regional level who determined who became the premier. So democracy was devolved. It was easier for the people to become involved. What we have today is not a democracy. What we have today is not a federation. We've just become a nation of liars who readily accept every lie that we are told.
So everybody, when we speak, it's not that we are against the government. This government, we brought this government in, and it must do what we ask it to do. If it does not protect us, then it's no good to us. So we must speak up, and I call on every Nigerian to speak up. We must hold our government responsible, and that's what democracy is, participation of citizens. Not this circus you see in the assembly, president come, president go. No. And the president must talk to us. You remember during the NSAS protests, people were screaming, president must address the nation, president must address the nation. Well, we've been having mountains of mortalities and deaths in the north. We've had little or next to nothing from our president. The president we elected. President we put in the villa to protect us. He got in Katsina 1.2 million votes. What do we have to show in Katsina? A third of Katsina is under bandits. The capital city is filled up as an IDP. I go to IDP camps, they are praying for him. They are praying for him. You see the video clips of Zabarmari, everybody will be moved to tears. The president needs to be shown that, because that is his duty, that's his responsibility, his and his alone. And when people keep talking about service chiefs, I really do not spend my time doing that. They are representing somebody. They are serving at the pleasure of the president. If they are not doing their job, you and I don't have to tell them to go. The president is his responsibility too. If I'm a service chief after Zabarmari, I will resign. No one will with conscience will see what happened and not take it as a failure. How our leaders can go to sleep after all this. And these are the few that make headlines. All across the north, this is happening every day.
We have many sources of income in Nigeria, and that if our leaders are honest and truthful and they are ready to work, Nigeria will be among the best countries in the world because we have what it takes. Our leaders are our problem. The only we are not having any problem in Nigeria. The only problem we are having are the leaders. Even me as somebody, I'm saying it publicly that if they can just do mass burial for all our leaders and let we the youth start ruling, you will see that everything will go the way it should go. Our leaders are our problem. I'm telling you, they can come and arrest me. If they should kill me, 1,000 people like me will still stand in this country. So that's it. Our leaders are our problem. We are not having any problem with our leaders. Our leaders, they are our problem. How can someone see? I don't even know what, because the issue is even annoying. How even under normal circumstances, apart from their salary, they're not supposed to be giving them wardrobe allowance, or this one allowance, or this one what is the meaning of that? The money our leaders are collecting a month in some country of the world, some presidents are not collecting it in a year. I'm saying it publicly. So that's all. Someone even compensate me for talking and give me water.